What is going on, everybody?
Hello.
It is Pixel Partners here, and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney 2. When we left off,
Bad stuff happened.
Yeah, a lot of bad stuff.
Unexpected and bad.
Apparently, Inspector Gregson has been shot and killed, and apparently it was during a meeting with Van Zieks that multiple people watched, and so Van Zieks is in jail for the murder of Toby.
Yeah.
Hey, there he is. Lord Van Zieks
And I was
behind
like,
bars.
dude, this would be like if Edgeworth was framed for the murder of Gumshoe or something.
Well, I mean, do you not remember the end of the first game?
No, I'm referring to like the whole inspector thing.
Yeah, that would be a wild one.
Because like we didn't know, we weren't attached to the character that he quote unquote murdered.
Yeah,
That
is true.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's true. He really was arrested.
He's sitting with his back to the wall, reading something. I don't think he's noticed us. Lord Van Zieks.
God, that look.
Fancy meeting you here.
Hi.
The last place on Earth I'd like to be, with the last person on Earth I'd like to see.
Gee, thanks.
I couldn't very well not come. We heard what happened. That you, Inspector Gregson, was... Go home. This has nothing to do with you.
That's exactly what Edgeworth said.
But.
That's exactly. But forgive me, Lord Van Zieks, but I must disagree. This makes her look so tall.
It does.
Inspector Gregson was very helpful to us on a number of occasions. We're indebted to him. At the very least, we owe it to him to find out the truth about his death. You must help us with our investigation, please.
There's really nothing I can tell you. What were you just reading at the back of the cell there? Was it something related to the case? This yard isn't quite so cavalier with its information as to share case details with the suspect. This is a letter from an old acquaintance.
Oh, who might that be?
Someone you know, as it happens. Albert Hairbrain.
Oh, his friend.
Of course, yes. I keep forgetting they went to the same university. I would like to read my correspondence in peace. So let's get this over with, shall we?
Formerly known as Dr. Dobinbo.
What is it you want to know? Everything.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, Lord Van Zieks never minces his words. But they seem to have less bite than usual somehow.
Yeah. I really love his theme.
It's wonderful.
It's dope.
So, the fuck, not need to fuck. Can
Yeah.
you at least tell us your side of the story, Lord Van Zieks? Whatever. How much do you already know? All I know is that a man's dead. That's all I
Yeah.
know.
We know that the inspector was shot dead in a small rented room on Fresno Street.
And you were found there by the police when they arrived on the scene and immediately arrested.
We were told that there was nobody else in the room and that some witnesses heard the gunshot.
Then you're well informed. And there's really nothing I can add. The truth is, I don't know what happened myself. But the gunshot! Obviously you didn't fire the gun, did you? I'm not in the habit of shooting the people I work alongside. I also heard the noise, however. Before I had a chance to investigate, I was apprehended by the arriving officers. So he doesn't actually know what happened.
Huh. If I might ask, what were you doing in that place to begin with?
I don't need to answer that.
I had a feeling. Oh!
After all, you're not representing me. He is going to need a lawyer, though. I will be my own damn lawyer.
You're no!
Who is going to be representing you in court, Lord Van Zieks? Don't do it. Anyone other than you, I should imagine.
Damn!
Yeah.
I think that was a sigh. Just. Should I be right in assuming that you have no representation as yet?
Defense lawyers shy away from any trial involving the Reaper, as I'm sure you know. But this is different. In my career, of all the defendants I've prosecuted, only 19 have ever been acquitted. of them, 16 subsequently died in mysterious circumstances. Questions will be asked now.
Surely not.
I assure you, no defense lawyer will want to touch me with the end of the barge pole. But you didn't actually have anything to do with those people's deaths, did you? Also, you're not supposed to ask questions involving something that's not relevant to the case at hand.
Yeah.
Like, when you're on trial, it's like, you're only supposed to be tried for what's relevant. You know, if you get arrested for murdering Gregson, they can't be like, but let's think of all these people that died after you were prosecuting them.
We've asked questions like that to witnesses before.
I know, but
and the judge is like, hey, this...
I was about to say, we gotta have some of that video game
Actually,
leniency.
he's the one who would say, this isn't about that forever ago. This
Yeah.
yeah.
It's been 10 years that I've been known as the Reaper of the Bailey. Believe me, nobody wants to know the true identity of this killer more than I. However, it seems things may come to a head before I have the chance to uncover the truth about that. What does he mean by that? Professor Harebrain's letter. What did he say to you?
Yeah.
After the trial, Professor Harebrain was supposed to go straight back to Germany, I thought. It's a letter to inform me of his safe arrival at home. I arranged this passage by sea and rail.
That's right, he'd set him to go home.
It's a relief, I must say. He should now be beyond the reaches of the Reaper.
Because the Reaper doesn't follow people abroad, you mean?
Yes, so it seems. Your stupid little Nipponese friend, for example.
Oh yeah.
You told me he was keeping well in Japan when I inquired the other day. Yes, that's right. He's an author now, happily working in Tokyo.
So Professor Harebrain is safely back in Germany now.
He is.
That's good to hear.
So, it appears our conversation has run dry. There was a 2-second silence, that's all. Well, in any event, if you'll excuse me now, I wouldn't like to detain you. I was wondering,
You're the one being detained.
if you'd like, I'd be happy to advocate for you. You trust me, do you? Yes?
Just without no hesitation, just yes.
I've heard you speak many times in court. I've seen how you treat people. So I'm quite sure that you would never have taken another's life. It's just, my feelings can't be used as evidence in a court of law, sadly. It's a very gracious offer. However, I trust no one. What? Not the police, not the judiciary, and not you, Nipponese. But please. I have no intention of engaging your services. Chasm between us is just too wide and too deep, it seems.
Yeah.
I'd appreciate if you don't visit again. Then neither of us will waste any more time.
Whew.
Perhaps we need to dig a little deeper and find out more about Lord Van Zeeks and what happened to Inspector Gregson. Well,
Oh boy.
time to go to the scene of the crime. Oh, but that's a hell of a board.
Whoa.
Okay.
It's like a... I'm glad we don't have to see the body at least.
Yeah, it's already been taken away. It really is an out-of-the-way part of London. I doubt many people find their way down to this back street. This dust-ridden, rented old room is where it happened then.
Would that make these cops the Backstreet
There's a
Boys?
wig there on the floor.
So this is where poor Inspector Gregson lost his life.
Yes, and the police are already hard at work investigating, it seems. And it's a red... Why does red hair have to be relevant to this case? Why? I don't see Mr. Holmes anywhere, though. Perhaps his investigation has taken him elsewhere.
Oi, what do you think you're doing there? Every one of them drawers has got to be taken right out so you can look underneath and all. I want the space above the ceiling checked, and don't forget to look inside the chimney stack too. Blimey, ain't she never gone over the house looking for dough and others the owners are out of town? Ah, Gina.
I don't think many inspectors are. Gina's obviously got some unique investigative techniques she wants everyone to adopt. That's a face.
Yeah, it is. Oh, so you turned up at last. Mind you, I haven't been here long myself. Sorry.
Hello again, Gina.
I was only just left. You're lucky you missed that. He went prancing around here, pointing at stuff and flicking it out of his, and then he just scarpered. Oh, he's finished investigating already, you mean? That's what he does. He spins around and turns lights off and on that don't exist. Yeah, he didn't stop saying nothing to no one, not even me.
He's in serious mode.
Yeah, he is.
Gina, would you mind if we investigated too?
Listen, Otto. You're a lawyer, right?
Yes. Why?
Well, you're not thinking of trying to help that Reaper bloke, are ya?
Oh, poor Gina. Never going to forget, is she? That trial will haunt her forever.
Gina, if you don't mind me saying, if Lord Vantiques really is responsible for this crime, he will be duly and fairly judged in court. Suppose you're right, yeah. Go on then, Otto, get investigating. I want to know the truth about what really happened here.
Thank you, Gina. Is that relevant at all? No. Alright. Number 1, Seven Chimney. There's a picture here. Who's this picture of? Picture's irrelevant.
Oh, it's a photograph stand.
Okay.
Suppose it must be a picture of one of Inspector Graveson's family members.
I suppose that's not it. Well, what's the matter? Your eyes look like they're about to pop out of your head.
They are! Look, Mr. Naruhodo, quickly! I had a feeling.
Yeah, I also had a feeling. Oh. Why do I feel like this woman is familiar somehow?
Come on, Ryu. Of course she's familiar! We met her only this morning!
No! It's Mrs. Vigil!
This makes no sense. Why would there be a picture of Mrs. Vigil in here?
Okay. To be frank, I don't know
But
of Frank, but I also don't think I've ever been more stumped.
I'm sorry to say, I have no idea either.
Well, I mean, I assume that our Mr. Vigil is going to be involved in this case for somehow, for some reason then.
Yeah.
Huh. An empty fireplace makes a room feel even colder than it would be otherwise, doesn't it?
It's thick with dust, look. I think it would be fair to say it hasn't been used in a very long time.
In other words, whoever lived in this room must have been extremely hardy in cold weather.
Or nobody lived here at all and merely visited when the occasion arose. I wouldn't like to say which is more likely.
No, that's right. It's one or the other. Okay, and then we have the board.
It's like some sort of notice board or something.
And it's absolutely covered in scraps of paper.
Mr. Naruhodo, look! It looks like a conspiracy theory board. Like,
yeah.
People, like, connecting things to things.
Like,
and just...
I would assume that this room probably... But then, why would... Because... So I would assume that this room belonged to Mr. Vigil. And I guess after everything that happened 10 years ago, he's probably been investigating what exactly was going on with the professor killings and all that. Because there's a lot that I don't trust. Like, I'm going to do an infamous me thing that I do.
Oh boy.
And I'm going to throw shit so far and see where it lands ahead of time. I don't know why. I don't have anything to really... There's nothing in the game that is really said for it to be a thing.
This is one of your wild theories?
It's one of my wild theories.
Oh boy, here we go, people.
But it's something that when it comes down to the mysteries of things going on that could potentially make sense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that Genshin Asogi was actually the professor behind the professor killings. I think that was Jigoku.
Really?
I think he's going to end up being the main culprit of everything.
The judge?
Yes. And I think he's trying to remove everyone that potentially knows the truth. And that's why the hit... Because we have to remember that the hit list that came out was in Japanese. It was Japanese Morse code, which meant that Japan was involved in that. And I think he's trying to get as many people that are learning the truth out of the picture as possible. I don't know. Like I said, this is coming way out of left field. Anyone that knows in comments,
or it could go back to my original theory of it being Mikotoba.
I thought I was the one that made that, and
No,
people thought I was
did.
dumb for making that. Because I remember the comments gave me so much shit for saying that the professor was going to be Mikotoba.
No, that was my theory.
I think because I was saying that the wax figure was legit going to be Mikotoba.
Dude, I had a theory. It was like,
People will know better.
Because I'm like, oh,
but
he's
I
Japanese
know I made
and
that
he was
theory.
here in like in London like forever ago. I'm the one that did that.
I'm pretty sure it's me, but let's not have this
No.
fight going. This is going to be a step ladder fight. I'll let the people in the comments tell us what it was.
I'm pretty sure it was me.
Anyways, autopsy report.
And these are case notes here and details of prison inmates.
Yes, in fact, they're all sort of documents that only a detective could normally acquire. What on earth went on in this room? Though this room could also belong to Gregson investigating all this stuff too.
Some old newspaper cuttings. This one here.
Yes, the advertisement, you mean, to the Red-Headed League. But why? What's that doing here?
Whoever occupied this room was clearly interested in it for some reason.
Okay, anything going on in the schools? Nope, the door's not important.
What? The stool lit up though.
No, it's...
Or was it like around? Oh, that.
Oh, it's the guard.
guy.
What do you
That's
know?
the guy.
Excuse me. Oh, Inspector. Oh, sir.
No, he's grieving Gregson.
Yeah. Poor man, he can't possibly be able to focus on investigating when he's so upset.
Yeah, he sounded so distraught. Oh, Inspector. Oh, sir. Like, come on. You're better at
What about
voice
this
acting
guy?
than that.
Excuse me? Sorry, sir. You see a thing, sir? My tears, sir.
Oh,
Right, perhaps I'd better leave you to your work then. Alright,
that's sad.
okay, these are interesting potential clues. So, there's a lot. We have a wig here.
Yeah.
Ever since we came in here, I can't take my eyes off this thing.
Oh, funnily enough, neither can I. It's you.
It's a hairpiece, isn't it?
It is. It is a bright red hairpiece.
And I suppose the fact that it's right there next to where the body was found means we have to accept that Inspector Gregson wore wigs, does it?
And in such flame-colored red, too.
Yes, it's a color we've come across very recently elsewhere, isn't it?
Exactly. This is a vital clue, I'm sure of it.
Unfortunately, it is.
Yeah.
And we'll go look at some of those things here soon, but then we got a pistol here.
There's a little toy on the floor, too.
There is, the toy of an inspector. This is presumably the murder weapon, then.
Oh my. It is real, I suppose.
I think so. Those are so rare in Japan, I really know very little about them.
There's one way to know for sure, Mr. Naruhodo. Fire a shot.
No. If I did that, it'd be like for a skilled lawyer to present me in court. It's at least safer just to ask someone who might know, I think. I guess we'll present that to
Ooh,
Gina, probably.
yeah.
We have, that's gonna be the most depressing one. I'll look at the
Yeah.
figure. Oh, what's this?
It would appear to be a little model policeman. It's rather charming, isn't it? In a way.
Seeing as it's on the floor here, I think it belonged to Inspector Gregson?
It's a little hard to imagine Lord Van Zeek's playing with something like this.
It's only about 8 centimeters tall. It could have fallen out of someone's pocket, I suppose. We should record it as evidence, just in case.
Yes, I agree. It is rather delightful, after all. In a way.
It's gonna be the most important piece of evidence ever in
8
Ace Attorney
centimeters
history.
tall? That's so tiny.
It's so little. All right, looks bigger than
I know. It
8
looks,
centimeters.
Yeah.
Unless it's a really tiny pistol. So I suppose this is where the victim.
That's right. The rope is laid around the body to show exactly how it was found. Or Inspector Gregson himself has already been taken away.
Would probably be under Dr. Sith's scalpel right now, if not for what happened last week.
From the shape of the rope, it would appear that the inspector was curled up in a ball. After being shot, that makes sense. Are you feeling alright, Mr. Naruhodo? You look like you've just seen a ghost.
I know it's just a rope, but well, it conjures up quite a terrifying image, that's all.
It does.
Especially with that blood stain next to it.
Yeah. Oh, I do understand. In some ways, what we picture in our minds can be even worse than reality.
Duso-san is so strong, though. She's taking this far better than I am. Chandelier? That's candelabra. Top one of the candles in this candle holder has been completely blown off.
Yes, there's wax splattered on the wall behind. Look.
I suppose if a bullet had hit it.
It does seem likely that the bullet hit the candle, having first passed through the inspector's body.
That wax on the wall looks like blood to me.
Candelabrum. There's another dude.
Window first.
Okay.
Somebody's very haphazardly nailed those boards over the broken glass, haven't they? You can't really call it a window anymore.
Well, if you remember the window in Mr. Natsume's room, that was totally blocked up with bricks. This one at least still lets in some light, so...
You could say nothing more about it. It just automatically did that.
Oh.
And
This one at least is letting in some light, so you could say, okay.
Okay, so that was it. You could say nothing more about it. Starting to feel even more sorry for Mr. Natsume now. And then, how are you, sir?
Probably not alright.
Excuse me.
You're looking down in the graveyard, Inspector. Don't worry. Look after the things in the yard.
I've interrupted some deep thoughts there.
Yeah. Anyone who's staring out a window like that in silence, it's...
Yeah.
Ooh,
Okay.
Hi, Gina.
Before we talk to you, let's take a look at some of the new things we just got. Okay. I thought I'd be able to actually see the picture frame of that, but no. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say
this.
I don't think Sherlock is in a mood to do any kind of fancy deduction stuff with this case.
Yeah. I've always wondered what the underside of a hairpiece looks like.
That doesn't surprise me at all, Mr. Naruhodo. You always want to see what lies beneath, don't you?
I'm not sure that's quite how I'd put it. You must have to use lots of bird lime to keep it in place on your head.
Bird lime?
So it doesn't get blown off in a gust of wind, I mean.
That might be a little inconvenient when you wanted to take it off again, don't you think?
Oh, really?
What's bird lime?
Okay. Revolver.
I'm guessing some kind of glue.
I'll assume that it's used for adhesive purposes.
Yeah.
I suppose this must have been the murder weapon.
Oh my. It is real, I suppose. I'm saying the same thing again.
I think so. Guns are so rare. Okay, they're just saying something when we found it.
Oh.
No, it's just when it left. So all the gun is just the gun. Policeman figurine.
Tiny
Can
man.
you find anything of importance on
There's
it?
the name Andy written on the bottom of the foot.
I'll look at the bottom. That one is charming.
The helmet of this charming policeman appears to be a little worse for wear.
I'm not convinced about the charming part, but yes, you're right. That part looks like it's been fairly heavily manhandled. Almost as if somebody has enjoyed twisting it around and around for fun.
That's you.
Shall I try twisting it around and around too, for fun?
Oh.
What's that?
It appears to be some sort of key.
But it's tiny though. Couldn't be a key for a door. Not at that size. What is it for, I wonder?
Huh.
Well then.
That explains why it's so tiny.
Yeah. Huh.
What would that be a key for?
For something secret. And then the other thing that I'm thinking of, are you thinking what I'm thinking when you look at this?
What do you mean?
Giant nose. The guy that runs the prison.
Oh.
He has a chonkin' nose. Because I mean, that's a heck of a detail to put on your doll. You know.
So?
I'm just spitting that out there. That could be the relevancy to it. It looks like some sort of key.
Yes, it does. Very tiny and
It's a key I did in the first place. What's it for?
Why are you skipping everything?
I think that was similar to what we said previously. So.
It wasn't.
Can I look at that? Let me look at that. Yeah, there's some black marks here. Look.
Yes, they look like some sort of scorch marks.
So perhaps the bullet struck the candle here. Do you think? Only this one candle that's been cracked in half, it seems.
Yes, I think you might be right. Firearms are rarely used by criminals in Japan, so I'm afraid I'm not particularly knowledgeable about them.
So... I have one more thing I actually want to check. I can't check, because, like... If the bullet was like that on the candelabra, like the angle would have to be an extreme high-low angle for that. Because like you saw how it was, right?
Yeah.
Like it would have to be like, if Gregson was on the ground, it'd have to come from the ceiling or something like that. Like, huh. Hey, Gina.
Hey.
Gina, what was Inspector Gregson doing here in the first place?
That's what I want to know. It's what, half a year since I got out of the clinic? That's when I decided to give up me diving and become detective instead.
Yeah, Mr. Holmes twisted the inspector's arm and agreed to take you on as an apprentice, didn't he?
Something like that, I think. Anyway, the point is, I didn't really think much about the boss till then. But it turns out, he's a bit of a legend at the yard. Goodness, really? I say he managed to solve some really tricky case, just like that.
He did?
Yep, and ever since then he started going on about all sorts of investigations, but always on his own. No one else at the yard even knows what half of the cases he's working on are, apparently.
I think it might be solved on the backboard over here.
Yeah.
It's not how it's supposed to work, is it? So what was the legendary inspector doing in a dingy little room like this?
Working on cases secretly. I know he had a lot of respect for the Reaper and all. And look what that landed him!
Respect for the Reaper? In what way?
I heard him say as much. I'll take my hat off to that fella. Were his words.
Not how the general public feels, is it? Most people are terrified of the Reaper.
Yeah, the boss said that's exactly why he respected the bloke.
I didn't realize Gregson held the Reaper in quite such high regard.
He said something else to me and all. And I didn't need to worry about the Reaper, because he only goes after people who are bad. It did kind of set my mind at ease when he said that.
Right. The crime scene. What is this place then? Does anyone live here?
Apparently it's being written by some cove called Hugh Boone. Hugh Boone?
A sort of here today, gone tomorrow name that, isn't it?
Yeah, he's what we call an unidentified person. We haven't been able to get in touch with him.
I see. Well, judging from appearances, I'd have to say this place hasn't been lived in for a long time, if ever.
Right? All the lads from the yard pile down and get stuck into the investigation. There's so little here, no one knew what to do with themselves. They're just, you know, mourning and grieving like we all are. I do wonder.
Yes, Miss Susadel?
Well, could it be that this Hugh Boone is in fact Inspector Gregson himself?
What? How could that be? It's called a fake name.
Yeah, well, if he was investigating on his own, it's quite possible that this was in fact some kind of secret office of his.
I'd never even considered that.
Nice work, Suze! We're actually following the line of inquiry like that ourselves!
You are?
Suze is such a cute name!
It is.
If you look around the room, you'll see. There's a few things that hint at it.
We should really investigate this place in detail. I already have.
Yep.
Thank you, game. And the incident.
I see that's where the poor inspector was found, over there. Yeah, that's right. They said it was a single bullet. What did he mean? Apparently the bullet went right through him and struck that candle tree on the wall.
Oh yeah, it's blown one of the candles apart completely.
And the gun used is there on the floor. It's a Reaper's in it, no denying that.
What? Really?
How do you know that? Take it easy! I don't know what to do with myself when you stare at me with them big wide eyes. I'm only saying what I've heard. I don't know much about guns myself. There's some big wig lawman or whatever who said so. Why don't you ask him?
A bigwig lawman, is it?
Anyway, first new street runs along under that window there. There were some street sellers just outside who heard the gunshot. Oh, but I don't recall seeing anybody outside. Yeah, they've all been taken down in the yard for questioning, and that's why. We're talking about the yard's legendary inspector, after all. They'll be getting a grilling.
Do you think we might be able to speak with those street sellers ourselves?
I doubt it. The lads at the yard will just want to know what you're snooping for, and you'll be up for grilling and all.
So we can't interview the witnesses then. Shame.
Shame. Pain.
All right. Well, we're gonna present some of the stuff we got and then go look around at more things next time.
Next time. Oh boy, this is a very grim case.
It is. It is. I'm looking at you, kid.
Kid?
I don't trust you.
He's like 40 or something like that.